So I watched the whole John Lamb Lash thing,
Oh, yes, yes.
and I think that like for me it's uh, for me it was peppered with red flags. There was quite a few bits in it that I kind of went, oh, don't know, but I think that it's really great for at least inciting discussion about certain points. For instance, um, well, there's actually so many. Where do I even really freaking begin? But it's one thing that I found difficult to agree with was the suggestion um, that AI is somehow, or that Sophia Gaia is speaking through AI. That there is somehow
But that
that's her
wasn't him,
means of
was it? That
healing.
ended up being Lisa's suggestion, and then he brought through that whole thing of what do you call it? Divination.
Yes, but even so, the divination, I get that. I get that, he's suggesting that we need to kind of try and understand, like try and be magical and try and understand like all the signs and everything. But he's using matrix constructs to do that.
I know, I
And so
know.
I found that to be
I
a
mean,
little bit wanting.
I get the divination. I think what he's really trying to say is connecting to Mu or whatever. See, I've got a thing with him with this Sophia Gaia thing because we've all had the experience where we've gone to Gaia and felt the essence of Gaia, felt the essence of Sophia, felt the essence of Mother Earth, and then felt the essence of Mu. Now, for me, it's like Mu feels so different because it's her organic expression of self. Now, the other day I was working with someone and she's definitely a different lineage to me. I'm trying to say that her experience was she really resonated most with Ra and Mu. Like that's she got,
Hmm.
but she was like, well, what about Panchamama? And when we both pinned as a stargate to it, it was like that's a fucking organic presence, right? So I mean, I'm
Yeah, right.
saying this because for me, I don't know if this has really been discussed because so much goes on for me here that I think everybody also knows that I don't talk about it, right? So when I'm talking about A11 and dimensions of dreaming and the fact that A11 can do this, that is to create different realities simultaneously and live in them, right?
Yes,
Where do you think we got him from? Sing it, sister.
moose down.
Right? So she has
Mm.
her own, like if you go to the essence of Mu, you'll sit in the essence of Mu the way you sit in self and feel all those dimensions of dreaming. She has that too,
Hmm.
right? For me, the Gaia is a construct that's harnessed her, the way they've taken us and harnessed us and our DNA and all that shit. And they're running a false construct through the Gaia program, right?
Yeah.
The Sophia,
Yes.
it's like another dimension of herself that's been compromised.
Mm. Okay.
Right? So I'm
Okay.
saying Panchamama, right, is still an organic presence. The others aren't an organic presence when we've pinealed as a stargated to it. So,
Okay. So,
so what I'm saying is the Panchamama expression of Mu is another expression of her organic, right? I can still feel a slight co-opt through it in the sense of when a lot of those Mayans came through, they bought in or they connected with or they also had the Archon interface,
right.
right? But definitely the Panchamama from that, the way they ask, like they say that I'm connecting with Panchamama is definitely much closer to Mu than Gaia and Sophia. So,
I definitely, yeah.
well, I'm saying, so think of Mu having dimensions of dreaming as well. And this is what I think's happening when people are remembering their version and their version and their version. And as her compartmentalizations leave, it's not just us. So her separations in the dreaming leave. What are we left with? A Mandela effect, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, he did suggest that the Mandela effect
Oh, yes.
is the is Moo basically reclaiming or correcting herself?
Same shit, different day.
So yeah, I found it interesting. He's because it was brought up, about the multiple suns, people having
Oh,
witnesses
really?
of all these
Yeah, yeah,
weird
yeah.
things happening. Yeah, and he said, imagine it like if someone smacked you over the head and you saw double, which reminded me of the psychic shock.
Right? I love this
Yeah,
Lash.
and he
He
goes,
confirms all my
yeah,
memories.
I thought that was fabulous. That's how he described it because I really resonate with that too.
Yeah.
Um, and that it's basically rather than the psychic shock of them fucking with us, it's more Moo correcting herself. So when our pineals are stargated to it, I felt that that was actually. I think it's a combination of the two together. I don't think it's just Moo, but I think it's like them fighting
Mm.
as well together. So I felt that that had real weight for me, for
How
sure. So there
interesting.
was some good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look,
Yeah.
he's a well-read, scholarly man that can talk a talk. Like, he can explain things. I found it just a bit harder going for me than that first interview.
Yeah.
With the first one, for me, what happened was it confirmed my experiences and then gave me the courage to share it. And as
Yeah.
a result, it turned so many people on to their own truth. So, thank you, Mr. Lash. But
Yeah.
I mean, I found that one hard going. For me, that first bit about the AI, like Sophia talking through the AI. Well, maybe Sophia is, but Moo ain't. Well, sorry, I loved your answer when we were discussing it before about since when did Moo need an inorganic interface to connect with an organic? Agreed. But
Mm.
again, we weren't talking about Moo. We were talking about the Sophia interface.
Yes, yes. Whenever I pineals a Stargate to Sophia, there's like a steeliness and a hardness about it. Moo is just completely fluid and yummy and warm, but Sophia doesn't quite have that same organic
But this is what I'm
value.
saying because it
Mm.
came from A11 stock, right? And we're sitting here on the organic no timeline. That's going to be where we go back to. Some of these other people who are A10 off planets, their only understanding of the Mooster is through a Sophia or a Gaia construct.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm
Yes.
sipping that. Yes.
And I'm saying if
Yes.
Moo has dimensions of dreaming like us, like mother, like daughter, right? After all, we're created in her image, right? Then it stands to reason as she's getting rid of the consciousness invasion, as she's getting rid of the inorganic, right? Those constructs are going to be the first to fall because they're an inorganic preset,
Yes.
right? So those people are going to be like freaking the fuck out,
Fuck yeah. Well,
right?
he does mention that well, his version of the difference between A11 or Anthropose 11 and Anthropose 10, Anthropose 11 being he called it a mutation. Where it is a mutation arising where, and I quote,
Oh, I love.
I know, right? Oh fuck! If I can read my writing now.
Maybe you need some
Lives up.
green pill to help it.
Yes, I do. Um, this part lives up to the divine endowment of our mother.
Okay, what were we talking about again? I need that in the context again. So we're
So
saying,
A11
yes.
is like a mutation that is arising, and it's
Oh, an endowment from our mother, our divine mother.
yeah,
Nice.
it lives up to the divine endowment of our mother.
Nice.
And A10 he refers to as being like the dead skin, the part that is dying. It's like A10's
Sorry,
dying
A10s. I
and
always gave you a
11's coming
chance
in.
in there, but you're fucking dying now.
I know, but I thought that was rather extreme for A10. I mean, I get where he's going because it's the original
Oh, I don't.
template, but well, it's I just
No, what
I still think
saying,
A10 has it.
no, what he's really saying is A10 is becoming obsolete. So you either upgrade with the new program
Yes.
or you don't. So you're left in analog land. Soon there will be no configuration for analog land. So, yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. He basically was saying that, which I found to be really resonant to what we've been discussing,
Sorry,
is
just
that,
keep looking at him, yeah.
yeah, those who are more in alignment with Sophia, or in my context, Mu, are the ones that are going to survive this
Yeah,
transition of whatever that's
absolutely.
going to look like.
I dig it.
Um, and yeah, he goes, those who witness and participate in her correction will take advantage of what she's doing, will basically go with her. And I found that that was a really great
I
point too,
like
because it,
it. Go, Mr. Lash.
yeah, it resonates
Cool.
with me, with
With
what we've been
we.
doing.
We. Excellent.
Mm.
Good review.
Yeah, so in the later part of the interview, there were some good points, but things like, oh, I don't know, describing Mu as an amoeba. So she's not spherical, she's not flat, but she's
Oh,
like an amoeba that's splitting. So in fact, there'll be two cells, two Earths. That's what's apparently happening, according to John Lash.
2 Earths.
Yeah, kind of like, well, he describes it like an amoeba, a cell that actually is ripping in two. I
Right.
had to actually Google mitosis. And
Oh,
just
my
so I knew
darling.
what I was
Oh, my
talking about.
darling. But
Well, I
lovely,
didn't want to
lovely.
kind of
At
be
least
vague
he's
around it,
educating it.
but
No, I get it.
yeah, I wanted to be right about it. I didn't want to just sort of spit out something that wasn't correct. But apparently, it's like like a cell splitting in two that are identical to each other. He said that is basically his theory of what is happening.
So why? Why would we have 2 Earths? Is one good or one bad? Like, that's what I mean.
There was no further mention of why. He just said that's what's happening.
I
And
mean,
I found that to be wanting.
I get the whole light and dark. I think light and dark's bullshit too. It's a distraction. A distraction from, is it organic or inorganic? In other words, does it have a life force? If it's got a life force, then let's boogie. If it's inorganic,
Yeah.
it says it all, doesn't it? You know, I mean,
But
light, dark,
yeah,
whatever, who cares? So,
I know.
I mean, I'm hearing, I don't know about this 2 Earths thing. I've heard it, I've heard Dolores Cannon say it, I've heard all that shit. To me, it's a survival tactic from the Gaia Sophia construct. You know, oh, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
We can run the 5th dimension over here with them. Well, try it out. Let's see what happens. And if Mr. Lash is right, it's obsolete.
Yeah. Oh, look, I don't know. I reckon, like, I don't know what the hell is going to happen, but I just think that in my gut, I know that this matrix thing is going to dissolve one way or another,
Yeah, definitely.
and there'll just be Mu and whoever's left.
Well,
That's
let's
if
put
I,
it this way. There'll be the organic creator being, the aeon that first left the pleroma. That's what it'll be. Minus inorganic fuckery. So, I
yeah.
mean, you were talking then about this amoeba thing, right? I mean, for me, when I sit in the essence of Mu, and I do that a lot, and I encourage, it's so much fun. So once you're sitting in your essence and embodying, and of course, the more you embody, the more this is potent. But when you sit in essence, and then from there, you go to the essence of Mu, and you let her speak, connect, symbiote with you. What I'm feeling is happening is when she fell, right? Her first incarnation or her first dimension of dreaming was coming into a condensed ball. So as she's falling out of the pleroma and forming into the planet, right? We don't know what a planet looks like, really, only what NASA's told us. So as she's
Yes,
forming
true.
into her planetary body, her skin, DNA skin suit. Sorry, I had to do that one. Whatever it is. As she's forming into her fuckery, and this construct is forming around her. For me, one of the ways that they penetrated or that they harnessed was time and gravity. And in doing that, the compression condensed her and so made her smaller and smaller and smaller. So as she now is unfurling, correcting, writing, coming back, it's like for me, these arms of galaxies are opening. Right? And it's like these different dimensions of dreaming she has, she's getting rid of the inorganic out of, just like we've been doing, just like she's shown us to do, really.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's like, for me, that's how it's happening. Now, whether or not these fuckers keep manifesting for themselves a cut and paste of this reality, a second world, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to them. As I said, not my problem. My thing is the mooster, right? And so for me, when we were talking about that idea of of what she looks like, it's like as she unfurls, I can feel all these different aspects of herself that kind of looks like one of those planetariums all moving in through and around, like a spiral. And then off these spirals are all these dimensions of self, similar like us, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, what she's shown me, or what I felt when I've connected, whatever you fucking want to say, I'm sick of trying to be politically correct with it, right? So in mainlining the Mooster, what I've been getting is there's like this, there's her core, her essence, her soul star, right? And in through and around it, it's like there's this construct and it's almost metallic in nature and it feels like a cube, like this multi-hyper cube thing. And what I've seen is as she begins to unfurl, this cube has been breaking down. And so this cube has been held in place by the macabre with the inorganics that have, the macabre, the inorganics have set up. Dig it?
Yes, dig
To
it.
it.
I
To
think
the-
it was a Stargate to any kind of construct around her or within her that was restricting her from being her total self.
Nice context.
And I did feel what felt like a cube around her initially.
Okay.
But the material was like it was like
Not her.
really aggressively hard. It was just vile. But then I felt it within her as well. But what I felt that she was doing, it was almost like she was moving beyond it despite what was trying to hold her in, and that's what was amazing.
I'll dig it. No,
It's
exactly. It's like,
inflating.
I mean, if we think this has probably been 10 minutes in Moo's whole lifetime, seriously. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's
Yeah.
just taken like a knockout punch and she's back up going, you want a piece of this?
She's almost like, bitch, please.
Right.
She's-
I get it. So, go to Mooster. Sorry. But I'm saying that as these constructs that have separated her, these geometries, etc., then all her dreamings are coming into her essence, just like we are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I don't get metals like that are organic.
Well, the metals that I felt definitely did not feel organic at all. At all. I know that you mentioned a little while back that you believe that iron isn't an organic material
No, I don't feel that
at all.
At all. Well, it's made up of organic materials with an inorganic agenda. How's that?
Yes. Okay. I dig that.
The Iron Age. No fucking thanks.
Right. I wonder what else on the planet is inorganic, like the materials that maybe are being used. Anyways, that's something to.
Well, I mean, I kind of think something that hasn't had a life force or something that has to be brought together in an alchemy to create something, but it doesn't use life force to do that. Right? So it's like when you smelt metals, you bring together a few different types of metals and smelt them together. Look, that's what I mean. I don't get that whole, Mother Earth's got an iron core and that's the magnetics that are holding us together. Well, that's the magnetics that are holding the macabre and it ain't her core. No fucking way. That's as much a theory as what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? It's like, who said
Yeah,
go down
yeah.
the middle of the earth? Well, how do they know that? How do they know that? Because they're using matrix concepts and measurements. How do they know that? Because I can assure you, in what I've seen with Moo's dreaming, no, that is not her core. Her core is not iron. No fucking way.
I can't imagine that the core of Moo would be metal.
But the core of anything organic would be metal.
No. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a great point. Yes. No, I completely, I'm with you on that.
Fucking fine.
The way he was talking about the evil in the world.
Oh, yeah.
And
that was early on.
That was early on in the piece. And how it's just the product of human imagination. There's nothing actually evil out there. But there was no real mention of the archons except for the fact that they did exist and that there was or is there are beings in the world who are infiltrated with the archontic virus, so to speak. So that was the only reference made to something that's basically psychopathic within this world.
The archontic virus. Is there an immunisation? Moves the immunisation.
Or vaccination, maybe?
Here's your fucking vaccination, bitches.
But the fact that he seems to dismiss that entities don't exist and that that we are basically creating as humans all the evil in the world. It is a product of our own imagination. And I found that to be a little bit off, even though I do believe that we do create the reality. But what if someone is suggesting fear to us or suggesting things that are anti-life, and therefore we create it from that? So to put the full responsibility on humanity, I found to be a little bit unsettling. Yeah. Because I felt that he completely wiped out the possibility that we're in a fucking invasion where we are being fucked with.
I get what he's saying, because in a way it is in your mind. It's called the consciousness invasion. You know, piss them off and you won't be connecting with that sort of thing. I mean, I'd like to say that, but I have some people walking into my little fucking show and, mate, whatever's attached to them's got substance. And when I say substance, it's got a lot of thought forms or whatever you want to say behind it. And that can, in its strength and power, affect. So whether or not it is just our imaginations, it's still something that tangibly needs dealing with because it tangibly affects. So I get what he's saying, but in the flippancy or in that dismissal, it's been, for me, taken out of context, because I think he would agree that there is some psychotic behaviour.
Yes.
You know, and I think he would have to say that the archons, if they're influencing, have a say in this or have done something in it. You know, like...
But because
didn't he say something about them being a parasitic interface or something?
Yes, but it's like he never, well, in this particular interview, he never really put the two together.
Oh.
It's like he never really went to that all the evil in the world, although we are creating it through feeding a particular reality. He never really, for me, from what I remember, he never really connected that maybe the archontic agenda has a direct influence over that. He does mention that on the whatever he would deem to be the organic timeline, that there would be no evil, that there would be none of that. But I don't know, there was a bit of disconnect when he was talking about it.
I was going to say, sounds a bit like heaven to me.
Yes. Yeah.
I get it. Look, a bit more experience, wisdom, and who knows what he'll come out with.
Yeah, that's true. That's
all power to it. So, I get it. I get that. I get what he's saying. I mean, at the moment, there's so many thought forms of it in the world that it's got substance. So that's the way I could surmise it. Yep, I get what he's saying. Totally, it's all in your head. but who put it in your head? How did that get there?
Yes, that's the point. Yes. How did it get there?
I just
Yeah, cool.
I just saw something on the internet when I was coming to call you with our call, and it was something about is your pineal shut down? And I thought, what the fuck does that mean? Is your pineal shut down? If your pineal was shut down, you'd be fucking dead.
Yeah, right.
Like this no age fucking big sweeping, because your third eye needs it to open, you know, all that shit. It's like, no, are you reading Moose codes? Should be what they're saying. Not, is your pineal down? Or just, wow. It's just, wow.
Well, when it's in atrophy, when the pineal's in atrophy, doesn't it have like it has like a calcification around it, like almost like a crystallized substance around it, from what I've read.
Exactly. Well, you've been in there breaking the shields, breaking the shit around the pineal, right?
Yeah. Well, it feels like it's like a little dried up fruit in many ways.
But how does it feel now once you've been pumping it with the mooster and, you know?
Oh,
Yeah, but in anyone. You know, once it's
like
reconnected to the organic light, to quote my dear friend.
yeah,
Right?
it's
That's all it needs, is to be reconnected with the organic, no timeline. So anyway, back to that whole thing with the Mandela, It's like as Moo's coming erect and all these compartmentalizations of her are falling, and she's coming back into self and knowing all her dreamings, as are we. And perhaps that's the Mandela effect. When I say the compartmentalizations are going, it's like for us, as the compartmentalizations go, it's all about more and more embodying of essence and more having access to all the dimensions of dreaming. And the organic, where they've compromised us in inorganic situations, we've been able to remove ourselves or pull our energy back. So is she.
yes. And also I find that when the compartmentalizations are like crumbling, you can actually kind of go pull my reality, like pull my life force from this reality, pull my life force from that.
What's
Just
she
like
doing?
Moo's doing and expanding as a result of taking back her land.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally. So I think that where it will all end up are organic timelines. So by that, the Panchamama, the Mu, whatever that sort of, like what I mean is I don't think there's going to be a Gaia construct. I don't think there's going to be a Sophia construct. I think
they'll crumble away.
anything that's got that inorganic interface is fucking going, is my point. So where do we end up on this organic no timeline? Sure. But she may have a dimension of dreaming as an organic no timeline that looks a little different from Mu. E.g., she may be known there as Panchamama.
Yeah,
Dig it?
right. Yes. Well, that just
So what
wow.
we
Yeah.
resonate to Mu and Ra because that's our organic no timeline. Some of these other A11s or original creator beings that I've met, or also they're A10, but they've come off planet A10, not with the Archons by themselves. They're the ones that connect with Panchamama.
Yeah, right.
So it's almost like she was bringing in other A10s from the galaxy that had seeded and allowing them the organic construct from there. And then as they've got taken over, we look at the fuckery there.
Oh, getting it. Yes. That could be part of the whole healing process.
Yeah.
As well.
And so no one's
Yes.
wrong. This is what I'm saying, and I've said this from the start. No one's wrong. They're all telling their story. The other bullshit's an Anunnaki creation story. Great, Enki, Enlil, all that. It's not ours from the organic no timeline. Do you know what I mean? So the Panchamama have their story. The the Australian originals, they have their story, and they're all dreamings with an organic substance, an organic connection. I'm saying the matrix. I'm saying the matrix is a construct within, through and around Gaia and Sophia and Mother Earth. I'm saying those real housewives can go off, whether or not it's a second Earth I don't give a fuck. But what I do know is it's inorganic, and inorganic has a endpoint. So they will die off. So I think that JLL's got it going on when he's saying connect with, the organic. It's just, let's get him, let him have a feel of the difference between Sophia and Gaia and Mu and see what he gets, I don't know. I don't know if he's into that sort of thing. I think he's more a scholar, he likes the research.
Yeah. Well, he does mention that he's into some sort of planetary tantra.
Yeah, but who with? Gaia, Sophia?
No idea. I don't even know what that involves. But I know that,
I dig it. I dig the idea.
Tantra with Mu, though.
We do Ramutet. He's talking about Ramutet. I'm wondering who he's connecting with, Gaia, Sophia, or an organic structure, an organic substance.
Right.
The organic life force that is the original aeon that fell from the pleroma. Always pushed.
Yes.
Always pushed. That's for you, Loren. Always pushed.
Yeah. Isn't that the idea that she might be pushed? I mean, that just changes the whole thing, doesn't it? Well, no, it doesn't change the whole thing, but it kind of adds an interesting spin to it all.
Well, being pushed is very A10.
Yes.
That competitive Archon interface Anunnaki thing. That's their MO. So that's very indicative of that thinking. I don't know. I don't know what it was like in the pleroma, if they were all like little struggling egos trying to get along, or they had evolved through that and their impetus was life, force, creation. I don't know.
Yeah.
That can be my next thing. I'll have a little interface. Indeed.
Yeah, you're right. It's very A10. We'll see.
A10 Anunnaki, let's be real here, because not all A10s are in with the Archon agenda. Not all A10s are fucked. Not all A10s are going to be, I think most of those A10s are becoming A11. They're morphing with Mu. Do you know what I mean? But I'm saying that there was a bunch of A10 that developed with Mu, the original creator beings here, and that's who I call A11. So I think that those A10s, like these ones that came from off planet to be with their mother, they're fine, no drama. They'll definitely be connecting with who they need to be.
Yeah.
These other ones that have come in with the Anunnaki, it's time to pay the piper, bitch.
It's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, can't not.
And this is the thing, right? It's not all about revenge and getting back. It's just thank you, no, life force, goodbye.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's just done. We're just done. See you later.
It's been real. So, yeah, it's like, no, none of that. You're going to pay and karma's going to get you and all that shit. No, it's simply you just don't exist in my world because I am not feeding you with my life force to say, yes, come play, be a part of me.